human beings have a phase, just as a caterpillar, when it transforms into a butterfly. There's that middle stage that we call the cocoon. But a butterfly has this, like you can see the cocoon physically. For human beings, it's more non-physical. It mostly happens in the unseen world, from within, the transformation. In the Bible, they name this the renewal of the mind, transformation of the mind. That's the period when somebody is shifting from an old identity to a new identity. So that phase in between, where he hasn't really left the old identity and hasn't fully formed the new identity. That's when most people get the impulse to be alone, the impulse for isolation, so that the transition can be smooth. So human beings have this period, but they don't really understand. Most people don't really understand why silence is important. So essentially, when you are consuming information, watching videos on videos on videos, it doesn't matter what you're learning, listening to music, speaking to somebody, or whatever way you are consuming information, whether by senses or whatever, that's like your mind is eating. It's like your mind is eating food. And then during silence, it's like you're digesting the food that you have consumed. So silence is digestion. Consuming is like feeding your mind. That's why you hear a lot of people talk about you have to meditate. A lot of people talking about meditation. You have to be silent, you have to let go, you have to surrender. It's all non-physical. Like your thoughts can literally, I think I'm putting it wrong. It's like your mind can literally grab thoughts, and those thoughts have an effect. That's why sometimes when people let go of stress, you feel a certain ease or a certain release in your brain. The lessening of tension. So there's this silent period, like where you just sit with yourself. And then notice when you sit with yourself, you'll have emotions coming up. You'll have past trauma coming up. You'll have things that your body needed to process it. Like you literally don't have to do anything. All you have to do is like sit down quietly and feel whatever is passing through. And that's how the body is processing this. That's all you have to do. Let go. And don't avoiding giving meaning to the things that are arising from the body, and avoiding running away, and being strong enough to face whatever is coming up, because the feelings belong to you anyway. So there's this voidal state. Jesus had the same thing before he transformed to a miracle worker, like when he disappeared in the wilderness, fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. That was isolation. Everybody has an isolation period. Like for, like the people who go to prison, most of them, it's like they have been forced into isolation. That's why when most people come out of prison who were really focused or who had a purpose, blowing up is easier after they come out, because they had enough time to think about themselves, to think about the things they did, and then they were alone long enough to process everything that the body needed to process. Most people who are free are looking for any chance to run away from themselves. Most people can't sit with themselves even for 30 seconds. They can't face what's coming up. Like some people feel like they will literally be driven crazy if they sit by themselves. That's why they need friends, they need alcohol, they need weed, they need cigarettes, they need all this shit to distract themselves from themselves. I was that person too. And I was running away heavy, bro. Yeah, but it happens differently for everybody.